After 50, you don't need to reinvent yourself from scratch. You need to double down on what you already know and do well. And that's how I built a whole new life. Today, I'm going to show you how to identify your top strengths and how to lean into them daily, and why this is the most practical and fastest way to reset your life. In midlife, we spend too much time fixing our weaknesses instead of following our strengths. What if the better path is leaning into what you already do well naturally? Hi, I'm Debbie. Welcome to Writing Life's Next Chapter. So you may be saying something like, well, Debbie, that's all fine and well, but how do I know what my strengths are? Where do I go to look for that? Well, let's start with your resume or your curriculum vitae. What would you put on there? For me, it is administrative skills. I like running an organized office. I like to make sure business is operating as smoothly as possible, and I will do my part and get my employees to do their part. And with that comes communication. I have this knack of making people feel comfortable even when they're still learning English. And in Southern Ontario, that was a skill that I used often. Then there's what you learn as a single mom, a single parent. So, for example, there is your adaptiveness, your willingness or talent, skill to be flexible and to be creative. As a single mom, I can tell you that we have to make the impossible work. So instead of looking at our resources, which usually are not a lot, we have to rely on our resourcefulness. And there's no better place to see that than when you have to host a birthday party for your children and you want to make it special and memorable, but you're on a very tight budget. That that is your resourcefulness. Also, another example that I have is to follow opportunities. My family used to go to family camp, Christian family camp, every summer. And of course, there is a cost for that. You are renting a space to pitch your tent or whatever. Sometimes we rented a cabin, uh, what was whatever my budget could allow. And this one year it was very, very tight. But lo and behold, without me saying anything to anyone, God looked after it. We were invited to clean the dining hall a couple of times a day, which really didn't take long. And we had a reduced rate then for staying at the family camp. Well, this opportunity, of course, was something that I would jump at. And I think most single moms who have been out there trying to survive for a while, trying to keep their head above water, would have done the same thing. And there is patience. You have to navigate your family and any extracurricular activities that you can afford, as well as your workplace. And when they want you to unexpectedly, for example, work overtime, how to get your grocery shopping done and amongst all of that, and how to stay calm in all the crises and the mini crises that are presented to you almost daily. So the difference between fixing your weaknesses and going after your strengths. I think the biggest one is with your weaknesses, it's draining. It drains your energy, both emotionally and physically. And it can be very discouraging because quite often you're fixing something that just doesn't come naturally to you, which is why leaning into your strengths is much better. You find that energizing, it's fun, and it's motivating. You want to do it more and more because you keep seeing the results, the good results of progressing in your strengths and what you already know how to do well. For example, Okay, now maybe you're retired or you're moving into retirement. And don't look for a part-time job or a volunteer opportunity where you're not working with people if you don't do well in isolation. Seek out the things where you have people around you, where you get to enjoy their company and they get to enjoy yours. So, what strengths have carried you through the toughest seasons of your life? Drop a comment below. I'd like to read about it. And I'm sure it would be encouraging to other people who are watching this video and in joining our community. God gave us strengths as tools for this stage of life, and that's not by accident. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 10 says, each of you should use whatever gift or gifts you have received to serve others. Let me read part of that again. Each of you should use whatever gift you have received. So, we all have gifts. You're not without one either. Here's a little assignment. Make a simple list of 3 strengths that show up again and again in your life. That's something that you can lean into. Follow those strengths. See where the opportunities lie to use them. That could be helping your daughter or daughter-in-law or maybe a granddaughter with a recipe. It might be helping your son or your grandson fix a car or do some carpentry work. You've picked up those skills, and if you're good at them, they are your strengths, and you get to share that with the next generation, or maybe even with somebody as a hobby, somebody out in the community that needs your help. Thank you very much for joining me here today. Please remember to like and subscribe on your way out. And now that you've thought about your strengths, you're going to want to know how to use them in your daily life. Well, I'm already working on the next video, and the working title of that is Say Yes to Your Next Chapter. That title might change a bit, but the content will be the same. It'll be ready for you. Oh, and don't forget to watch this next video. I'll see you there.